Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. So we are now moving on to lakin. Lakin. So before we start the text, I want to understand a few preliminaries. Okay. This is lakin. Not lakin, it's lakin. Because then lakin doesn't fit here. I wrote lakin, but it's supposed to be what? Lakin. Yes? Okay. Because lakin is a harf mushabbahun bil not harf atf. So I think lakin is written throughout. It's a mistake probably. Yes, just ignore that, okay? Okay. So this is what we have. Ma ja'a Zaydun lakin Khalidun. Correct? What does this text imply? This text implies that Zayd did not come. This is negated. And you are affirming something after it. Correct? So you're negating Zayd and you're affirming Khalid. So lakin is that. So you have a nafy and then you have the mahallul ithbat. Yes? So the thing that you are affirming must be different to the thing you're negating, or the opposite of what you're negating. That's one of the conditions. We call this ittisaqul kalam. Ittisaq means to come together, to match, to be in congruency. So what we're saying here is that in lakin, for lakin to have function properly, it must be preceded by a nafi, first condition, and the thing you're negating must be opposite to what you are affirming. So for argument's sake, you can't say ma ja'a Zaydun lakin Zaydun. Obviously, this example is very obvious, it doesn't work. So he's saying you can't say ma ja'a Zaydun lakin Zaydun, because the mahallul ithbat and the mahallul nafi are the same. They have to be separate. When you have that, and as long as it's ittisaq, meaning this ittisaq is not a long space in between, you call it ittisaqul kalam. So in lakin, what must we have? Ittisaqul kalam. Yes, and ittisaqul kalam means what? Nafi followed by ithbat, and the ithbat is ghayru nafi, ghayru manfi. And it has to be wasl the kalam. It can't be separated. If not, then again you can just change everything 10 years down the line. Yes? Okay, right. So this is now in here, this is negated because of ma. This Zayd, how do you know Zayd did not come? So this is a technical part coming out later on in Bal. So in lakin, we know that the one before did not happen, not because of lakin. Lakin does not influence that. Lakin has no effect on this. Zayd not coming is known by the ma. Okay? So we know Zayd did not come because of the ma, and this is manfi bima. And that becomes musbat because of lakin makes that musbat. So you understand that much so far? Achha. So what we're saying here is, you must have mawsoolun. So they say in the text later on, you have to have ittisaqul kalam. And ittisaqul kalam means there must be mawsool biduni sukut. They must come one after the other collectively without sukut in between. Correct? And number two is that the nafi and the ithbat come with the same exact thing. Zayd and like this is not correct. Because why? Zaydun. So this is not ittisaqul kalam. Do you understand? Achha. Now based on this, let's go forward. So lakin lil istidrak ba'da nafi. So what must precede it? Nafi. And what is it for? Istidrak. Therefore, fayakunu mujabuhu, the mujab muqtada, what it necessitates, the result, the consequence. What it causes. So what lakin causes is ithbat ma ba'dahu, affirm what is after it. Yes? The one before it is nafi, but not because of the lakin, because of the ma before it. So when we have the, yes? فَأَمَّا نَفْيُ مَا قَبْلَهُ فَثَابِتٌ بِدَلِيلِهِ, which is the harfun nafin. If you go back to the previous example, so basically, we say, مَا جَاءَ زَيْدٌ لَكِنْ خَالِدٌ. What does that mean? We have here, let's go over here, إِثْبَاتُ مَا بَعْدَهُ. What's مَا بَعْدَهُ? Khalid. Did he come? Yes. Are we saying here, did Zayd come? No. But Zayd is not manfi because of lakin. Zayd is, let's do that in right. Zayd is manfi bi dalilihi. What's the dalil of nafi? The ma. Zayd's coming is negated not because of the lakin, because of the harf nafi of ma. This is important when it comes to bal. Bal is different. Wal atfu bi hadhihi al-kalima, to do atf with lakin is only possible when you have ittisaqul kalam. And it's not in the text, it's in a hasha somewhere. Ittisaqul kalam. Good, well done. فَإِن كَانَ الْكَلَامُ مُتَّسِقًا. If the kalam is muttasiq, meaning that lakin can function. يَتَأَلَّكُ النَّفْيُ بِالْإِثْبَاتِ الَّذِي بَعْدَهُ وَإِلَّا فَهُوَ مُسْتَأْنَفٌ. What will happen? If the kalam is muttasiq, we will say the nafi becomes muta'alliq to the ithbat. Yes? So what you negate in the previous one, it becomes affirmed in ma ba'dahu. And if it's not ittisaqul kalam, we say it's jumla musta'nafa, and you say it all together. Let's look at this example. If I say alayya al-alfun qardun. Now qardun, what's the i'rab of qardun? There's a few possibilities in the hasha. Normally we would have said qardan as a tamiz. But there's a few possibilities in the hasha. It's not nahwa, so you can read that in your own time if you want to. So alayya alfun qardun. Okay, alayya alfun qardun. Then he says la lakinna huwa ghasabun. Okay. Now, is this lakin? Remember lakin is lakin, yes. Now if you look at this, is it ittisaqul kalam in this example? What's the ittisaqul kalam? Nafi ma qablahu. So we have alayya alfun qardun. You got it? And then you have to do nafi, and the ithbat has to be different. So what are we doing ithbat of? We're doing nafi of the qarz and doing ithbat of the ghasab. This is ittisaqul kalam. Are you following me so far? So what will happen? This alayya alfun, this is the mahallul ithbat, this is the mahallul ithbat and nafi. So now, what will happen? He will have to give the 1,000 because that's affirmed. But what's he doing? What's the thing that we're changing? We're changing the qarz and the ghasab. فهمت? So مثاله ما ذكر محمد رحمه الله تعالى في الجامع إذا قال لفلان ألي ألف قرض. Yes, فقال فلان. So let's say now here I made it here in this as one statement. It's two people basically. So it's two people. This is one person A. If I remember, I can just change it later on like slightly. And this is person B. So person A does iqrar that I owe you £1,000. You lent me £1,000. You go, I never lent you. Took it off me for my permission. It's a ghasab. Fahim? What will happen? It's just the sabab is different. But in terms of the iqrar, there's no change in nafsul iqrar. Lazimahu al-mal, meaning number one. إذا قال number one, فقال فلان number two. So lazima, the first person in iqrar, he will have the mal. لأن الكلام متسق. Yes. فظهر أن النفي كان في السبب دون نفس المال. You understand? You got it? Everybody following so far? أجل. كذلك لو قال. Next scenario. لفلان علي ألف. Yes, I owe فلان 1,000. من ثمن هذه الجارية. I purchased a slave girl offer and therefore I owe her 1,000. فقال فلان. So that person, so fulan is person number two. So person number one says, I owe you 1,000 dirham as a result of me purchasing this slave girl off you. For him, what happens after this? That fulan says, no, the slave girl was yours from the beginning. ولكن لي عليك ألفا. Was that your same as your text? ولكن لي عليك ألفا. Huh? Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was wondering. Alfun. Yes? Yes. Now here, يلزمه المال. Because he's not doing nafi of the iqrar, he's doing nafi of the sabab. Because the guy is saying, person one is saying, I owe you as a result of a purchase. And person number two is saying, I owe it to you as, you don't owe it to me as a purchase, you just owe it to me as some without sabab. So يظهر المال. فإذا أن النفي كان في السبب لا في أصل المال. Same as the previous example, but he's got now Imam Muhammad's فرع. أچا. ولو كان في يده عبد فقال هذا لفلان. What happens scenario here? Person one, he has what? A slave in his hand. He's got the slave in his hand, meaning his possession. فقال هذا لفلان. What do you say? This belongs to person number two. فقال فلان, person number two says, ما كان لي قط. It was never mine, it belongs to فلان آخر, it belongs to person number three. Okay, what we say here? I think the text, okay. What we say here, okay. Let's take a scenario here. We have the slave. We have Ahmad. He's al-muqir. Who's a muqir? A person who is, what we say, a person who's doing what? What's he doing? The person is accepting or is, iqra, we call iqra in English. He's accepting, accepting, I owe you money. So Ahmad, the slave Abd is in his possession. Yes, the blue slave in his possession. So he's become the muqir. He says, Abdi li Zayd, my slave belongs to whom? Zayd. This is Zayd. So Zayd is a muqar lahu, for whom he has accepted the slave belongs to. So Ahmad is saying the slave actually belongs to Zayd. Are you following? And now Zayd says, no, ma kana li qattu walakinahu li Khalid, belongs to Khalid. So now he's muqar lahu thani. So he's muqir. This person is muqir. So he's muqir number one. So he's muqir in here, in number one, and he's muqir lahu. And in situation number two, he's muqir in number two, and he's muqar lahu in number two. So it's one iqrar, two iqrars, isn't it? Yes. So what will happen in a situation? If he says, ma kana li qattu walakinahu li Khalid. Yes? Immediately. Or he has a fasl in between. He stops in between. I hear, ma kana li qattu, he stops. Walakinahu li Khalid. Now it's not ittisaqul kalam in here. Because there's a fasl in between. What will happen? What will happen? We will say, فَإِن وَصَلَ الْكَلَامِ, meaning it's ittisaqul kalam. He says it immediately. Yes? So if you go back here, so in this situation basically, this is situation number alif, situation number ba. No, this is ba. Yes, alif and ba. So in situation number one, what will happen? كان العبد للمقر له الثاني. It will belong to the second person at the bottom. Yes? لأن النفي يتعلق بالإثبات. He's doing nafi of the ithbat, meaning he's doing changing. So he's saying it belongs to you, it says not to me, it belongs to somebody else. So the first person is saying, well, it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to you, so not me, it belongs to him. So he's changing, it's for Zayd, it's for Khalid. Are you following? لأن النفي يتعلق بالإثبات. The first person doing iqrar, that belongs to the top person, and he's changing to the bottom person. For him. وإن فصل, it is فصل. كان العبد للمقر أول, meaning the first person. Why? He said, لم يكن لي قط, stop. No ittisaqul kalam. So then he's doing nafi of the iqrar. Are you following? If you go back over here, if it is ittisaqul kalam, you will say he's ما كان لي قط ولكنه لخالد. So he's accepting his iqrar that it doesn't belong to him. So he's saying not mine. He's affirming not mine. Yours. He's saying not mine, Khalid. So he's now changing it to him. That's fine. Ittisaqul kalam. If he says not mine and he stops, he's done rad of iqrar. So therefore it will stay with Ahmad, the muqir. Are you following me? Do you understand? That's what we're saying here. So if it is wasl al-kalam, it is ittisaqul kalam. So therefore the iqrar, you can change it from him to the second person. But if it is fasl, there's no more ittisaqul kalam. When it's not ittisaqul kalam, كان العبد للمقر الأول, the first person who did. Basically he's done rad. فيكون قول المقر له ردا للإقرار. He's saying no, I don't accept it. ما كان لي قط, and he stopped. So he says it's not mine. So therefore the iqrar is not valid. It belongs to the first person. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes? Acha. Example number 4. ولو أن أمة زوج نفسها بغير إذن مولاها. If an amma, well, who is it? A slave girl. She cannot marry without her mawla's permission. Correct? If she marries without her mawla's permission, بمئة درهم. For how much? 100 dirham. Yes? That's a mahar. فقال المولى لا أجيز العقد ب100 درهم ولكن أجيزه ب150. What does the Mawla say? I do not allow the nikah for 100, but I will allow it for how much? 150. So he says لا أجيز العقد ب100 درهم لكني, but that, you can say لكني or لكن أجيزه ب150. I was writing lakin throughout the whole time. I've been note by mistake. Lakin will be lakin, not lakinni. Yes, because harf is not the mushabbih fi'l. لكن أجيزه ب150. However, I allow it 150. What he's saying in Usool as-Shashi is that the mahallul ithbat and nafi is the same thing. He's saying that the is la ujizu ujizu. What's he saying? I don't allow it. It's not based on the mi'ati dirham or mi'ati dirham. It's not. He's not changing the mahar quantity. He's changing the I allow, I don't allow. What's the question? What's the question? Huh? Why not say it's on that's what it's in Noor Anwar mentioned in Noor Anwar. I don't know. Some have said in the Hasha, I think it says that because mahar is not a shart in the nikah. But I'm just saying, I don't understand this. What I'm thinking is, I'll explain it. I understand it, but why not that? I don't know. They say in the Hasha because the mahar is not part of the asal aqd. What the main part is the ijab, qabul, and the shahid. That's why. But in Noor Anwar, like I mentioned at the end. So if you're thinking, so Usool as-Shashi is saying what? Don't think about it. What's Usool as-Shashi saying? Ikhbar. I'm not going to discuss it. Don't discuss it. Don't think about it. Meaning, Usool as-Shashi is saying what? He is saying, La ujizul aqd, ujizul aqd. So therefore it's not permissible. Khalas, don't discuss it. I understand your question. And I'll get to your answer right at the end. So, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَمَةً زَوْجَتْ نَفْسَهَا بِغَيْرِ إِذْنِ مَوْلَاهَا بِمِئَةِ دِرْهَمٍ. We have 100. Then he says, I love 150. We say, Batal aqd. Usool as-Shashi saying what? Batal aqd. Why? Because لأن الكلام غير متسق. Why? فإن نفي الإجازة وإثباتها بعينها لا تحقق. He's saying أجيز لا أجيز. فكان قوله لكن أجيز إثباته بعد رقم العقد. He's saying لا أجيز then أجيز. I understand the question. We'll answer that part later on. Similarly, if he says لو قال لا أجيزه ولكن أجيزه إن زدتني 50 على المئة. If he says I do not allow it, but I allow it if you give me 50 more. لا أجيزه. I do not allow it ولكن أجيزه إن زدتني 50 على المئة. I will allow it if you give me 50 more. Are you following me? Huh? Batal aqd, yes.
The last part we can't take a promise.
No, I say I will allow it. So he says mawquf. Yes. So he says fasqan lil nikah. Nikah is fasq. Why? لعدم fasqan lil nikah. Nikah is batil. لعدم احتمال البيان. لأن من شرطه الاتساق ولا اتساق. That's what he's saying. Right? And this is what it says in Noor Anwar. In Noor Anwar, it has the same masala. He says, لا أجيز النكاح. He doesn't mention the amount. In Usool as-Shashi text, what is he saying? لا أجيز بمئة لكن أجيزه ب150 درهما. So in here, in Noor Anwar, they don't have the amount. So in here it's clear that you're saying لا أجيز النكاح ولكن أجيزه. In Usool as-Shashi, and then if you look at Mullaji, one of the so this is Manar, this text is Manar. And in the Shara, he says here, ولو قال المولى في جوابه لا أجيز النكاح ب100 ولكن أجيز ب50 هذا مثال الاتساق. What are you saying? You understand? So this misal seems to be a garbar. So in Usool as-Shashi, he says لا أجيز النكاح ب100. But in Noor Anwar saying if you don't have the number, then you're doing nafi, because لا أجيز النكاح, what are you doing nafi of? The amount of the nikah or the nikah. If you don't mention in this text of Noor Anwar, Manar, right? So if you don't mention number, what's he doing in this example here? So let's start again, right? If you say la ujizu nikah, what's he doing nafi of? Of the nikah. Then he said lakin ujizu. What's he doing ithbat of now? Ijaza. Yes. So therefore that's not ittisaqul kalam. So this is lagwa. So la ujizu nikah, finish, not counted, new sentence. And then ujizu ب150 dirham becomes a new maslah now, a new proposal. Do you understand? Yes? And what he's saying in Noor Anwar is, if you said the number, like what you were saying, if you said a number, then what happens is like ghasaban qard. So basically in the first example, so he says here, وَلَوْ قَالَ مَوْلَى فِي جَوَابِهَا لَا أُجِيزُ النِّكَاحَ ب100. This is exactly ittisaq. So nikah will remain and the nafi will become to the mi'ah and the ithbat is a thing, and that's not going to be a problem. So Usool as-Shashi and Noor Anwar have a difference, and Noor Anwar seems to make more sense. So la adri, ask the fuqaha. But this is what Noor Anwar says, and that's the masala. So leave it to them. I'm just explaining what's in the text. Yes? Everybody understand? So if that masala in Usool as-Shashi doesn't seem to fit with the top masala, and if you follow Noor Anwar, it makes sense. Wallahu alam. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.